of them in a guessing game. Well, now we actually have some Indonesian traditional street snacks in front of us, four in particular.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to talk a little bit more and perhaps try some of these, but before we do so, let us say hello to Kevindra Soemantri. He is a food writer, a culinary curator, and also a full-time foodie, so much like us. Hi, good morning, Kevindra.
Good morning, Kevin.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Thank you for joining us here on the C Morning Show. So listen, you're a food guy. Tell us about your three favorite Indonesian street snacks, traditional street snacks.
Oh my God, that's a very
Tough question.
That's very mean of you because that's very hard. But if I have to choose, I'll go with the centai manis from Betawi. I love it, centai manis, and then of course putu. Who doesn't like putu?
Okay, go with putu.
Although there were so many kinds of putu, and of course my favorite is Manadonis Panada.
Oh,
yeah.
That's where I came from.
All right,
Yay.
original OG. All right, so Kevindra, we're gonna get your expertise on some of the food that we have in front of us. But here, if you guys want to have a look, we have four different traditional Indonesian street snacks. Now I'm gonna start with perhaps Christy.
Yeah.
I will let you choose one. Choose one. I will choose for you, and then you will have to guess what it is.
Okay. Yeah,
Ready?
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna start all the way from the left. Maria Christie, what is the name of this Indonesian traditional street snack?
If I'm not mistaken, this is a wajik.
This is a wajik, that's right. So every region has a lot of different versions of this, but this is actually called wajik.
Yes.
Some people confuse it as getuk sometimes, but this one is actually wajik. You're right.
Yeah.
So you will now be allowed to taste it and tell us how it tastes.
Can we move to another?
We'll do it one at a time. We'll do it one at a time. You go ahead. We've got health protocols to follow, so you go first. In the meantime, Kevin, could you tell, while Christy tries it, and we're going to wait for her feedback, could you tell us a little bit about the wajik?
Yeah. Wajik is basically, I think, one of the oldest existing dish in Indonesia because lots of historian and the origin of wajik was written on the inscription since the 7th and 8th century.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's more than 1,000 years ago. So it's an ancient dish basically.
Right.
Like what is really interesting that because back then wajik was served as the when the sacred people, they have this religious ceremony on the kingdom. They serve lots of sweet snacks, sweets, and one of them is wajik. So it's a 1,000-year of age dish that you are having right there.
All right. Well, this particular one isn't 1,000 years old, so tell us how it tastes, Maria, Christy.
It's sweet, of course, because it's made from ketan and white sugar.
Sticky rice and brown sugar.
Yeah, the ingredients, I think, is similar with the one in a mango sticky rice.
Right.
It's like the sticky rice itself.
The texture.
It's texture like that. Although I like sweet things, guys,
Yes.
but I don't really into.
You're not really
You know
into
why?
that.
It's not sweet enough for her. We need to inject more sugar in there, put more brown sugar. All right. All right. Let's go with this one. This one for you, Ramalandi.
I know this one. This is Panada.
Yes, it is called a Panada, one of the favorites for our
Manado.
foodie as well. And this has actually been influenced by the Portuguese when they came to Indonesia.
right.
So as you may, if you please.
Okay.
So we're going to let Rahma try it. Well, perhaps Kevindra, can you give us a little bit of background on the Panada?
Yes, exactly what you just mentioned, Paul, that Panada is actually one of the newest family member of the Indonesian snack because it's influenced by the Portuguese.
Okay.
The Portuguese came here on the 15th, 16th century, and then because that's why you have the empanadas in Spain and in Portugal. That's the same dish. The same dough, you fried it, you fill it with some using fish, some using pork, some using meat. So it's actually the same dish that they brought here to Manado, basically in the northern side of the Sulawesi.
Right.
But one thing that's really interesting about Panada is that they infuse chili. You know that you cannot eat Manadonese food without having
Spicy.
good spicy,
Right.
spicy thing. So that they added chili, and that's perfect.
Okay. So, Rahma, what do you think?
Where?
You like panadas normally, right?
No, I'm hungry at the moment.
That helps.
No, I'm just going to be very honest because I wanted to order something to eat.
Yeah.
But turns out Paul is being very nice to me. He's actually giving me this one. because this is like you're eating a bread with stuffings in it, right?
Like a little bun.
I know. This is with mine is with fish, which is very, very yummy.
I've had a fish panada before too, and I thought it was very unique because I've never had a panada before I came to Indonesia, but I was familiar with empanadas, like you said.
Yep.
So when I first tried it, I didn't even know there was fish in it until I tried it. I'm like, wow, that was a surprise because I thought it was a pastel or something. So yeah, I love it. What do you think? Good?
Oh,
Amazing.
100.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to go on though. So the next one, let's go to that little green round rings there. Back to you,
Please,
Maria
please,
Christie.
I want this one.
Okay, go ahead. You can have that one. You can have that one. Can you? But first, you have to guess what it is. What is it called? Choi Pan, you're right. This one actually comes from Pontianak. It has different fillings, usually chives and jicama. Here we go. You can help yourself.
It is the same or
This is the same. So it is.
all the same.
So there's different. You can get different fillings. This one is actually filled with bengkuang.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Right.
So
Right.
help yourself. Don't forget the sauce. That
Okay.
sauce is for you.
So if I'm not mistaken, this Choi Pan is popular also in Bangka Belitung, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. Is that true or not?
Yeah.
Yes?
Tell us about the Choi Pan.
Yes, actually it started with the Chinese immigrants, right?
Right.
When they came to Pontianak, they came to the Strait of Malacca, to Bangka, and so they merged all of the cuisine there. And one of the interesting influence of Chinese cuisine in Indonesian food repertoire is actually the street snacks, the street food. Lots of our kue, lots of our pasar actually influenced both savory and sweet by the Chinese cakes. Like this, like some people say chai kue, some people say choi pan, but regardless of the name, it's a delicious dish that the people from Teochew brought to Nusantara. And what really interesting that the choi pan or chai kue is not the kind of Chinese food that merge with local ingredients. Unlike nasi goreng, for example, nasi goreng is fried rice and then you mix with kecap manis and other local ingredients. But the choi pan or chai kue, it's 100% traditional from the Chinese mainland. So they brought it here so for us to enjoy. Interesting.
All right. So there it is.
I love with the chives. I love with the chives.
So,
Chives is very.
Kevin, is there any major differences? Look at Christy.
Enjoying it.
She's enjoying it. Major differences between the Choi Pan from Bangka Belitung or from Kalimantan or Pontianak?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's not too much different. But I have tasted that the choi pan from Bangka Belitung. Some of them they use prawn because it's a coastal area, right? It's a coastal area.
Okay.
But if you want to go into a more authentic choi pan, it's a choi pan from Singkawang. Inside of the Pontianak. So you go to Singkawang city, the town of Singkawang, then you have the heaven for choi pan.
Oh, I see. All right. We've got one more to go here, so it's your turn, Doc. Have at it. What is that called?
It's called Putu Ayu.
It is the Putu Ayu. Yes, there are many different kinds of Putu Mayang, regular Putu, but this snack is known as the beautiful princess. Putri Ayu. So this is the Putu Ayu. Help yourself and tell us what you think. And tell us more about this particular Putu, Kevindra.
It is really interesting because putu was originated basically from India. So any kinds of putu, the traditional putu mayang, they have this special dish. And as you know, that India and Indonesia was friends since thousands of years ago, perhaps older than the Chinese. So they have this interesting culinary assimilation for the Indonesian people. But the Putu Ayu is really interesting because they have this. They named it Ayu because the Putu mostly known in the Javanese community. So if you read that Saracentini book written within the 18th century, they mentioned lots of street snacks. Some of them, one of them is the Putu Ayu, because they serve it mostly on the Javanese court and Javanese diet.
Okay, there's a putu that I like that is actually wrapped in a cloth with a banana inside. I think that's a putu as well, right? And then they put it in the steamer, like a traditional
I know
steamer.
that one.
Yeah, right? That's also a putu.
Yeah.
Called
Okay,
putu.
so many different kinds. So tell us about one you had.
It's nice. It's very nice. It's not too sweet.
Light. It looks light.
Yeah. It's very nice. I mean, for me,
It's
it's just right because
Okay.
I don't really like something which is too sweet. This is just perfect. Paul, Help yourself.
All right, so I'm gonna help myself because I'm getting jealous. They're getting to do all the fun stuff. So while I try one of these, Kevin, you've got a new program. Tell us about it. Surprise.
Yes, I'm really happy to tell about this because the program is
Which one?
on the part of Indonesia Culinary.
all right.
So I'm
That's
happy
awesome.
to bring all of you, the audience, to see and to taste culinary delicacies not only in Jakarta but in future in other cities in Indonesia. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go and speak with people behind the scene of the culinary, restaurant owner, people from the street food vendors, lots of fun stuff, of course, and delicious experience.
Okay, well, sounds fun.
Sounds like fun, amazing
I know.
stuff. We're looking forward to it. By the way, this is spicy, but it's good.
Yeah.
But it's good. There you go. Okay, so if we're talking about traditional snacks like this one,
Yeah.
because I'm always wondering here in Indonesia, like you said that in a different area calls the different snack differently, such as this one,
Yeah.
Putu Ayu here, and then if I'm not mistaken, there's also traditional putu from Betawi, if I'm not mistaken, the Putu Mayang.
Yeah.
Putu Mayang.
Okay, so
Yeah,
tell us the
exactly.
differences between the Putu Ayu and also the Putu Mayang.
First, the Putu Mayang the form is totally different, and the way they cook the Putu Mayang is totally different from
Right.
Putu. Until today, they are still debatable of what's the origin of Putu Mayang,
Right.
because other kinds of Putu are steamed, right? But this Putu, they boil it, and then of course, some people boil it and some people steam it, and then they serve it with this sweet sauce, and the format is very different. It's more like a gooey dough instead
true.
of this. Right, Putu Mayang is like a curly, gooey dough.
I know, it's like a
instead
nut.
of this nest.
Yeah.
Yes, instead of this, freckles of coconuts.
Right.
And one thing really interesting about Indonesian street food is most of them are gluten-free. So if you are looking
Oh,
for
really?
gluten-free stuff, you don't have to
Eat snacks.
like expensive snacks. You just go with Wajib is gluten-free.
Really?
Lots of,
This has no gluten in
street
it.
food is.
I'm surprised.
Oh.
Yes, it is. It's no carbohydrate. I mean, it's no gluten. It's not using wheat flour.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
good point.
So,
Wow, I never thought of that.
I know, guys. One of my favorite traditional snacks from Indonesia is, do you know it? Cendil.
I'm not
Oh,
familiar with
cendil,
it.
I know. It's like a
Cendil.
bubble
Yeah.
I like it
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Or in the market, local market, they call it cendil, cendil, cendil.
There's a lot of
I love that so much.
pronunciation,
But it's so very hard to find it now. It's very rare.
Right.
especially in Jakarta. Yeah,
Especially in Jakarta. Is that true or not, Kevin?
Yes, definitely, because you need demand from people who likes to eat that. But nowadays you have this new pastry chef, young pastry chef that they are developing more into traditional recipes. So they travel around Indonesia and then most of them in Java and they sell this kind of old school traditional street food that brings back nostalgia, because they know that this is because street food is talking about our heritage.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
talking about who we are as Indonesian. It speaks of our identity. But it's true, it's not easy to find. But if you can go to traditional markets, it's especially early in the morning. Pasar pagi,
Yeah.
Right.
they sell lots of sweet snacks like cendil.
Yeah.
But my favorite cendil, of course, in Jakarta.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yogyakarta. And if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago, there's a video in FYP TikTok is getting viral because people go to morning
Is that
pasar
market?
pagi.
Is it
Yeah,
market?
Pasar
Morning
pagi,
market.
morning market
Yeah.
Mangga 2.
Okay.
Not to buy clothes, bag and everything, but to buy
Traditional snacks like this.
traditional like this. It's amazing, right?
So listen, we were talking earlier about the program See Indonesia. So there's going to be a special episode featuring Kevindra.
Yes.
So we're going to check out, I believe we have the trailer for it. Let's have a look at it.
Jakarta, the growing metropolis. Always buzzing, always chaotic. Yes, it might be noisy. And this time, I will lead you into the journey to see and to taste Jakarta's very own food culture, the eccentric one.
Okay, all right. All right, guys, look out for that episode special for Kevindra. I believe, do we still have you on, Kevindra? Are you there? If you are, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, there he
We're
is.
looking very much forward to watching your episode of See Indonesia and, of course, looking out for
Thank you
more
so much for
conversations
having me.
together.
Thank you,
Kevin.
Kevin.
All
Take
our
care.
Thank you
time.
so
Have a
much,
good day.
everyone.
Stay safe. All right,
Have
guys.
a good weekend.